Well, I'm Peter Jenkinson. I'm delighted to have been asked by Audience Yorkshire to consider what the future looks like in terms of audience development. And I'm somebody who's hugely optimistic about the future. I think that it's never been a better time to be alive for most people on the planet. It's never been a better time to be part of the cultural sector and to imagine how we can play a much richer and deeper role in society and in the lives of the nation and of individuals. My conclusion is that it's very complex, there are no immediate answers, but what I am certain about is that we have to reimagine very urgently how we connect with people of all kinds, and in connecting to imagine that it's not the superimposition of our power, authority and expertise as we used to in the 19th century, but is actually more about a relationship, many relationships. It's not just a two-way journey, a two-way street, it's a many-way, and we can be at the centre of a complex web, to be cliched for a moment, of conversations, provocations, of puzzles, of creative dilemmas, and can be part of sorting those out, can be part of the future. I'm always amazed at what artists and performers come up with, and they are astonishing. In working with them for over 20 years, you always wonder, where did that come from? And they're very special, but I think at the same time they're not the only experts or specialists. There are so many in all our communities who don't get listened to, who are never asked. And in so many of our communities in the United Kingdom, people have had a very tough time for a long time. It's been economically and socially difficult, and after a while you don't ask for very much because you know you're not going to get it. Actually, it doesn't need to stay that way, and people have huge passion about where they live, and that has to be built on, and the cultural sector will be part of that, very much so. So that I'm as interested in the role of culture and community development as I am in the notion of audience engagement, who's engaging who. There are also huge issues globally to be thought about, and we haven't even started on that. We are a very isolated nation. We're still nervous about the roles of empire. Last year about slavery, it's all still a bit raw. Yet there is so much to do internationally in terms of global development, diplomacy, international understanding, and so on and so on. So they're just some of my speculations about the future. People in the sector often feel very ground down. They feel very poor in terms of what they're paid and what their institutions or organisations, agencies have to spend. But it'd be great to imagine in time people will just throw off that kind of rather miserablest tendency and just think of themselves as more powerful, more capable. Of course, that's not just people in the cultural sector, there's people everywhere. That surely is enough cliches for now.
Hello, I'm Mark Suggett. I'm Head of Museums, Galleries and Heritage for Bradford Council. We're currently working on the Connect project at Cartwright Hall Art Gallery, which is essentially redisplaying and revisiting the gallery. And the key part of that has been about audience development and audience engagement. And from the outset, we've worked with Audiences Yorkshire, who initially were able to provide the expertise and the skills which we didn't have in-house. As we've been able to appoint an audience development officer, we've developed a close working relationship with them to develop the aspects of this project. What we were looking for, based on some of the audience research which Audiences Yorkshire had done for us beforehand was different target audiences, and we selected those and then worked with representative samples from that to develop the gallery. In doing that, engaging with those people has allowed us to change our thinking, and they've had a direct input into the way in which the project's developed, and that's been incredibly helpful. I think we've benefited from having Audiences Yorkshire acting both as a consultant, an advisor, but also as a critical friend. And I think that's been very, very important. So hopefully we've learnt a lot from them, but I think also they have learnt quite a lot from working on a project like this.
Hi, I'm Dan Bates and I'm the Chief Executive at York Theatre Royal. I've been a member of Audiences Yorkshire and the Audiences Yorkshire Board for 4 years now. And I've been at York Theatre Royal as the Chief Executive for just nearly 4 years. Over that time we've really used Audiences Yorkshire services. We use the big picture data analysis, we use the benchmarking, we use the Not for the Likes of You scheme. We've been a recipient of stage exchange funding over the time, and I've used the staff at Audiences Yorkshire to help me with my strategy, with working with children and young people, with developing families, and but at the bottom line, they've also helped us working with recruitment and some sort of staff and personnel issues over the time. So a really kind of broad range of services. I think it has really helped our business grow. We've grown an audience. Last year we had 30,000 new people come to the theatre. We sell 26,000 tickets to young people. So again, that's a real kind of, that's an audience now. Some people refer to young people as the audience of tomorrow, but they're our audience now, make up a fifth of our audience, which is a very kind of crucial part of what we do. We also use all the creative services side, all the leaflet distribution and Dig Yorkshire as well. So we are a real kind of prolific user of Audiences Yorkshire. It's very interesting today, what I've kind of learnt today, very interesting to know some of the developments for Audiences Yorkshire and how the organisation will develop and help me even more in the future going forward. So thanks.